What up, pups, and welcome back. Capcom, you keep the lid locked so tight for so long, and then finally one day, everybody getting the cookies. You get a cookie, you get a cookie, you get a cookie, you get a cookie. We finally got more info regarding the RE4 remake, including the announcement trailer and very brief preview of gameplay. Plus some Village DLC was unveiled, as well as some sweet 4K upgrades for the next-gen consoles and PC. Before we take a deeper look, please perform your due diligence, watch the video, and if you deem it anywhere between okay to great, hit that like button, subscribe, share, and please don't forget to comment. Let us know how we're doing, what you'd like to see next, and as always, thank you for your support. First off, we're going to take a look at this gorgeous trailer, then we'll get into what's confirmed, what may be missing, and what we might see when the game launches next year.
I've located Baby Eagle.
Guess you, me, picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh?
You will receive our most sacred body. It begins now.
If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain. Even for a second. This time, it can be different. It has to.
March of 2023? I mean, come on. That's like an eternity. Second, that random in animation, obviously part of your contractual obligation with Netflix, right? Pettiness aside, it looks amazing. And at least from what they've shown, it looks to be somewhat faithful to the original. We got most of the old gang back, Leon and Ashley, Ada, Louise, Saddler, the Ganado, and even a quick glimpse of the Big Cheese. And even though it wasn't shown, I think we can assume Leon will still be facing off with Del Lago at the lake. But what's missing? Keep in mind, this is only the announcement trailer. We expect more to come between now and next year. That said, here's what I'll be looking for. Ramon Salazar. Little fellow was one of the main protagonists of the original RE4, so I can't imagine him not being included in the remake. However, I do expect a darker, less cartoonish version of him. Jack Krauser. Now, we learned more about Jack and Leon's history in the Dark Side Chronicles, but is it possible Capcom might retcon the character and focus on Ada as the sole mercenary? Speaking of, Ada's Separate Ways content. Now, Ada appears throughout the base game, but this Separate Ways DLC was added later and served to kind of flesh out her involvement with the events of RE4. So is Capcom planning to merge the two? Maybe let us play as Ada in the main game, similar to the RE2 remake? Or potentially release a remake of the DLC? Could there be a possible connection to Village? I know this one's a long shot, but hear me out. Something about this Los Illuminados emblem struck me as very familiar. It's very similar to the winged keys in RE Village. And would it make sense to somehow integrate Mother Miranda and the mold into RE4? I mean, both entries take place in Europe, both have sort of religious cult aspects. Perhaps the Las Plagas is a variation of the Kadu. Saddler's Dick of Death. This needs no further explanation. Finally, Albert Wesker. Wesker was a major character off-screen in RE4, and he actually got some screen time in Ada's DLC. He's gotta be included in the remake, and I can't wait to see his fresh 2023 4K HD 60 FPS ray-traced look. Or, just to get to see him again in general. So those are just a few things that I noticed in the trailer, but what are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments. Moving on to the next big announcement, Village's long-awaited DLC, the Winters expansion.
Rose! It's all right, Rose. It's all right.
I can show you things even Chris doesn't know I can do. I want to live a normal life.
She's near death and ew, something just moved on her hand.
Shut up! What's going on here? You look just like me.
Now we have a new little rabbit to pursue.
Rose, the beloved daughter of the main protagonist Ethan, is now a grown-up main character in this new story mode. In this sequel to the main story of Village, you can experience Rose's struggles with the terrifying powers she was born with. To break free of the curse of her powers, she enters the consciousness of the Megamycete. There, she meets a girl who looks just like her. In this mysterious realm of consciousness, time and space is warped beyond recognition. Rose is guided by a being who calls himself Michael, who might be of assistance with removing her powers. Shadows of Rose is set completely in a third-person perspective. In the realm of consciousness, you won't only face creatures, but the world itself seems to be attacking you. Enjoy the horror of the world itself being your greatest enemy. How will Rose find freedom from her mysterious powers?
I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed that the initial DLC is going to focus on Rose, but I am intrigued to see where they're going with it. If Rose is traveling through the consciousness of the Megamycete, does that mean that she'll encounter enemies from Village and RE7? We see her exploring what appears to be like an altered Castle Dimitrescu. Could she possibly go back to where it all began in Dulvey? Maybe get a little Baker family reunion going? Could she team up with her father Ethan? Is Michael Ethan? What about her doppelganger? Is it Miranda's daughter Ava? Is it the real Rosemary and Rose has been Ava all along? And what's up with Evil Duke conjuring the molded? The time jump does concern me. The trailer confirms that this takes place 16 years after Village, and according to Rose's dialogue, Chris is still active in some capacity. But is Capcom planning this to be the bridge between Village and RE9? I mean, I want to explore Rose's story, but I also need to see everything in between. Like Chris and the Hound Wolf Squad maybe paying a visit to the BSA for sending the BOW boys to the Village. Maybe learn more about Blue Umbrella's involvement. I don't expect Shadows of Rose to fill in all those gaps, but it is possible we could see multiple DLCs. So here's hoping. In addition, this DLC is also going to include an update to Village, optional third person. That's right, we finally get to check out Ethan's dad bod in motion. Unfortunately, he kind of looks like Georgie before getting sucked down that sewer drain. Finally, Mercenaries is getting a new mode to include playable characters from Village, so if that's your thing, get into it. The Winters expansion is going to drop on October 28th separately or as part of RE Village's Gold Edition. No word yet on how much that's going to cost. That same day, RE Verse is finally slated to release, so it's gonna be a busy weekend, just in time for Halloween. Last but not least, Resident Evil 7 and the RE2 and 3 remakes all received a free upgrade to 4K and 60 FPS with ray tracing, available now. We'll be sure to check those out on the channel real soon. So that's it. What'd you think of the showcase and the Resident Evil news? Did I miss something? Let me know in the comments. Also, we usually just do gameplay, but let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this. And once again, thank you for your support. We'll do it again soon. Later.